Hi everyone, I'm LP from Yellowcard, and you're watching punkvideosrock.com.
What's up guys, Robert Herrera here with punkvideosrock.com. We're hanging out backstage at Club Nokia Live with LP of Yellowcard.
That's right, how you doing?
How's it going, man?
Everything's doing great. The tour's doing great. Today's doing great. It's wonderful.
Cool. This is a dirty tour with All Time Low.
All Time Low, Somerset, and Hey Monday.
Nice. What's it like touring with younger artists?
Oh man, it's definitely, it's great to see like all the, you know, I say young talent coming up and really making a point in the music industry, you know, because I feel that it's really needed to have, you know, real players out there, and definitely a lot of energy and a lot of, you know, a lot of encouragement to everyone else out there who's trying to do the same thing. And I feel like, you know, it's good to see the new and upcoming music, you know, hit the scene, and good to see, you know, what's coming up next. Yeah, exactly, you know.
Does it take you guys back to when you guys first started?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. I mean, we've been doing this now, since I was 13. Not going to say how old I really am. But we've been doing it since I was 13, and, you know, over the years, you know, touring has, you know, definitely changed a lot, you know, especially through the record industry with, you know, before you used to be able to sell a ton of records and, you know, rely on that. Now bands have to rely on, you know, touring you know, all of that.
Do all the dirty work.
Exactly, and it's good to see like now how they've evolved into that, and you know, they're really into every day getting out on stage and giving it their full 150%.
Exactly. You guys were on hiatus for 2 years.
Yes.
What was the reason for?
You know, I think we just needed a break. You know, we all just we've been doing this for so many years, and you know, when you're on tour together for so long, you know, it's a family, and you're living. You're in a tour bus, which is basically like a tube with bunk beds. You know, and you're all around each other, and you know, and everyone wanted to do different things, and you know,
try
some of us
different things
wanted to
in life
act.
as well.
You know, I wanted to play music and venture off into some other things. You know, and after doing it for so long, you know, we just said, you know what, let's take a little bit of a break, you know, let's, you know, just to kind of, you know, regain our thoughts on everything and just kind of go back to it. And, you know, when we came back, I have to say it was the best, you know, 3 years we did take off, because coming back, I feel like now we have the best lineup we've ever had. You know, we have an amazing record that we just put out. You know,
I'm sure that energy's still, as if you guys had just started.
I feel like it's more. I feel like we needed that break, you know, because, you know, we were so young coming into it, you know, into what we did, and sold, you know, a ton of records at a young age. And, you know, that whole saying of you don't notice what you have until it's gone, you know, and then when you sit back and listen, you're like, wow, you know, I would do it this way if I could do it again. And I think that's exactly what we did. We came back and we're doing it the way we should have done it before. And I feel like I said, it's the best lineup we've ever had. We've got Sean O'Donnell, our new bass player, who, you know, is an old friend of ours who used to sing for the band Revolver, who is an amazing bassist, amazing person, and, you know, he's great to have on stage. The energy is wonderful, you know. And you've got Sean Mackin, who's, you know, still ripping the violin like more than he ever has. You've got
you can't have Yellowcard without the violin.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't have that. And then you've got Mendez, you know, and a lot of our, you know, what brings up Yellowcard is our influence, you know. We all have such diverse backgrounds. You know, I have jazz, funk, fusion, metal, you know, background. Sean's got Mackin, he's got classical.
More classical.
You know, he's got also punk background, you know, from the Fat Records, you know, that
back in the day,
yeah, you know, and it's, you got Mendez, he's a punk rock era, and also diverse in other things, you know, and then we just all put it together, and I think that's what makes us strong. And like I said, right now is our strongest point, and our record that we put out really showcases everything that I believe we've wanted to do for years. I just feel like, you know, being together for so long and taking that break really did us good, because we're like, hey, you know, why don't we come together again and really come together as a unit, strong, and do it right? What
did it take for you guys to actually realize, like, hey, let's start doing music all over again?
Well, it took us a lot of phone calls. I was out with Adam Lambert for a while and did that whole circuit, and you know, I just really wanted to get back into playing the music that I love to play, you know, and being with the band that I love to be with, that, you know, I created years ago. and finish what we started.
Right.
And I started calling Ryan Key up, over the phone and saying, hey, let's get back together and do this again. And then, one phone call led to another phone call, and then it just spread. And then next thing you know, we had a meeting, and then we had one show, and now we're back in the grind again.
Here you are.
That's right.
Here you are. So you guys came back, and you guys went from a major label to an indie label. Mm-hmm. So what was your reason for choosing Hopeless Records for the 7th album?
Hopeless Records, they showed a lot of interest, more interest than anyone else. Mm-hmm. And, as you know, in this day and age, selling records is a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And you can go to a major label, but a major label is not always the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And being with a label that's going to focus on us and really pay attention to what we are as a band, as a unit, and where we came from, and really know how to put us out there. That's why we went ahead and went with Hopeless Records, because they had the best plan for us, and I feel like...
And they were going to stick right with you guys as well.
Absolutely. I feel like they're with us till the day we go.
Okay.
And I feel strongly about being with Hopeless Records in a good, positive way, and I think we all do. Yeah,
no, that's good. I'm glad. And since you guys came back... you guys had mentioned you hit new countries. Mm-hmm. What countries were there, and what was the experience like?
Oh, man, we've been to Russia. It was cold.
Really?
Really cold, but it was amazing. The kids were great. The shows were out of control. Mm. Some of the best shows we've ever played were in Russia. We did the Philippines, which was an incredible experience too. To go. It's always an amazing feeling to go somewhere you've never been, and to have a bunch of kids show up at your show and everyone know the words to your songs, and rock out, crowd surfing, circle pits, the whole nine, and leave wanting you to come back before you even get off stage. It's an amazing feeling. We went to Dublin,
wow, which
was really cool, and and we're not done. I mean, we're booked solid for the next. I
would say be pretty busy.
We're not slowing down. We're speeding up, if anything.
Yeah, because you guys were known for touring for nonstop.
That's right. 267 shows a year was our record. We're gonna get out there, and we have a lot of making up to do to our fans. So we're gonna do it and try to be there for every single fan we possibly can, and and not leave again.
You guys recently dropped your 7th album. Mm-hmm. What was the reason for the title track, or the name of the album?
When You're Through Thinking, Say Yes. When You're Through Thinking, Say Yes was, well, as you know, it's kind of a universal name. I mean, you can use it with anything, really. The way we have it, I look at it as, when we were taking that 3 years off, and I would call Ryan and say, Ryan, what do you think about this? Let's get back together. Let's pull this through, and I would say, okay, well, whenever that time is, just,
we'll be there.
Just let me know. I'm ready to do it. You know, let's go back. And that's a lot to do with it, and I think we've all kind of gained on that title, is that, and I think it's also a universal thing. You can use it with anything, when you're through thinking, say yes. I believe anyone that's out there that has hope for something and wants to keep hope, and whatever it may be, if they have a similar situation, keep the hope up. When you're through thinking, say yes, because I'm always going to be there. You know what I mean? And I think that's what that is.
It's catchy.
Thank you.
It's catchy. What was it like starting up writing together again? Did it feel almost as natural as if it was just yesterday?
Oh my God, it felt like we never took a day off.
Really?
it felt like it was day one all over again. Wow. It felt like we were excited. We were in the room together. The music just fell right in, and also working with Neil is always amazing. I mean, he's worked on all of our material.
You guys have mentioned he's like your 6th member, right?
Oh yeah, he is a member of the band, I would say. I mean, his thought on what we've been writing has really put a big hand in everything.
Now, since with all the experience you guys have with previous albums, did you guys take any different approaches for this record, or what did you guys do differently as opposed to your previous work?
Well, when we did Ocean Avenue, we spent 3 weeks in a mountain house together and locked ourselves in a mountain house and wrote that record together. Like we would wake up sometimes at 7 in the morning and just go in the band room, which was right outside of our bedrooms. It was, like Fraggle Rock. Yeah. And then we'd get in a room and then, we'd say, hey, I have an idea. Let's do this. Okay, cool. I like that. Let's we had a little tape recorder. We'd record it and then go on to the next thing.
Nice.
When we did Lights and Sounds, Ryan and Pete Mosley lived in New York City, and they had written the majority of that record, you know, in New York, and then they brought the material to us, and then we put our 2 cents to it. Paper Walls, we had done together, you know, but it was still, you know, because we had been together for so long, we still had our creative ideas, but we kind of like, you know,
still kind of battling with them,
separately put them in.
Got it. Okay.
This record, we came together as a unit, and we had written the whole thing together, you know, so piece by piece, every drum lick, every guitar lick, every vocal, everything was put together. The
whole band. And
I think if you get this record, you're going to get what we truly are, and every bit of our influence from beginning all the way up till now.
Got it. Cool. And you just dropped your music video for your second single, Hang You Up.
Yes, we did.
Congrats on #1 on MTV.
Thank you.
Did you guys expect, or did you guys think that coming back you guys were still going to be hitting top charts, or did you guys think you were going to have to battle all over again?
Man, you know, doing this, you never know what to expect. You know, the music industry is very unpredictable. You know, one day you can be #1, next day you could be number 200. You never know. Fans change, music changes. Every day there's something new that comes out. You never know. And it's always, I mean, it brings tears to your eyes when you look at it, and you're like, in a good way. You know, you look at it, you're like, wow. People still like us.
We're still around.
We're still out there. Like, whoa, it's #1. You know, like, wow. Thank you, everyone, by the way, for making that happen. We really appreciate that. We love all of you. So
I'm sure it'll continue to. Like,
you know, I hope so.
I feel you guys still have that spark there. So.
Well, thank you very much.
For this music video, the song is actually a serious song, but on the actual music video, you guys didn't seem to take it as a serious matter. Was there a reason for that?
It was our teaser. We had one single which was picked out, which was Hang You Up. And before we did that, we wanted to let kids know that we were back on the map, you know, something for online. So we did For You and Your Denial. Yeah. So we didn't have very much money to do the video. I mean, I think we spent $4,000 on the video, you know, something like that. And we didn't have very much money. We're like, well, what can we show that's really us, to kind of show like a movie trailer? Hey, look, you know, we're back. Okay, bam, there's more, you know. So we did the For You and Your Denial video, and surely enough, all of you guys liked it. And you know, one thing led to another, and then TV started wanting it. So MTV and all these, you know, stations wanted it. They got it. They started playing it. Fans liked it, and they
started promoting it and everything.
And it became its own single.
Yesterday, you guys announced you're co-headlining with Good Charlotte.
With Good Charlotte.
If I remember clearly, you guys haven't toured with them before.
No, we have not toured. We've done Warped Tour together.
But not like an actual tour together.
We haven't done an actual tour together. Very excited about it.
Why do you think it's taken so long? Like, back in the day, I would have thought, I would have seen, I mean, the top bands back then would have been you guys, Good Charlotte, and New Found Glory. Right. So why do you think a tour like that wasn't able to happen back then?
That's a good question. I would have liked to.
It would have been awesome.
I think it's just timing. Yeah. You know, different tour schedules. You know, we're falling on different, you know, different times. When they were on tour, we were off tour. When we were on tour, they were off tour.
You were writing
they
a record,
were on a different tour.
Record.
You know, or yeah, exactly. So I think that, you know, it's just timing. You know, and I think just now it fell just right. They just came out with a new record. We just came out with a new record, and both bands like each other. So
I'm definitely excited for that tour.
Well, thank you very much.
So I you know, hopefully I'll see you guys there for the Pomona date.
It's going to be a rockin' event.
But do you have any last words for the fans or your fans and our viewers that you want to let out?
Yes, absolutely. Everybody out there, check out my side project, LPMD. It's on iTunes right now. You can get it. We have Prop 19 and I Do It All. Check that out. I also have my solo album, which I'm going to be dropping really soon. Longenu Parsons album called Defining Me. Keep a look for it. And everyone out there, please help support and pick up our new record, our new Yellowcard record. When you're through thinking, say yes. Thank you.